to talk about breathing. I really debated on putting a clickbait on this one. Well, you won't believe what you've been doing wrong your entire life, but we kind of have been doing it wrong. And I know what you're thinking. I know you're sitting here thinking, yeah, you're a little crazy here, April. I know how to breathe. I've literally been doing it since the moment I've been born. But we actually do have some techniques we can use to help with our breathing and to make sure we're getting the oxygen we need, that we're getting the focus and the concentration we need to help get our minds in the right place. So I'm going to show you a video of me actually working, and I'll narrate a little bit as we talk through the posture I'm using and the way I'm sitting and how it could and does impact my productivity actually at work, as well as my own mental health, right? So let's look at that. Okay, let's see how I'm sitting for work here. Starting off in a pretty good upright position, and then almost immediately I move myself into half lotus. Not really the best position to work in, but I tend to sit like that pretty frequently, even at my desk. Almost immediately, you can see I'm adjusting the chair arm. I'm already starting to lean forward a little bit. Even with the glasses that I wear that's perfect for the computer, I find myself naturally leaning in. Oh, there, right there, starting to slump. A little bit of lack of posture. That means it's going to immediately, and I've shifted forward right there. See how my neck is extending out more? I'm not lined up. My back and my neck, my chin's kind of pointing forward. I can already tell it's starting to make me a little uncomfortable subconsciously. Didn't realize it at the time, but now we're really seeing that slant where the head is not positioned straight over the spine. That's putting more and more compression on the way I'm breathing. Yeah, even farther forward. Started to realize it a little bit, so I'm moving back, but notice I'm still in that curved position. That head is still forward as compared to where it should be, directly over the spine. And mouth open slightly. I'm obviously not getting the full breathing that I should, and there's the yawn. There's the yawn. My body telling me that I need some more airflow. Yep, there's the readjustment for me to try to put my feet down. I've got a footstool underneath, so now you notice I'm lined back up, much straighter. I probably should put a lumbar support behind me to help keep me a little better upright. So as you can see, there was a couple of things going on there. And yes, I do tend to come to my desk actually barefoot, and especially during the summer. And I do tend to lean forward. And as we saw in the video, I'm kind of sticking my neck out a little bit because you're leaning in and you're concentrating, and that's compressing that. It's not allowing a good airflow. You notice the yawn in it. That was my body signaling to me that I was not getting a good breath. So now let's go over to the mat. Let's look at different ways that we can sit and different things to focus on to make sure we are taking in good breath and supporting our cardiovascular health along with our mental health. Okay, so here we are at the mat, and today I'm using my meditation cushion to raise my hips up a little bit. It's going to allow me to have a better posture as we go through these breathing exercises. So one of the things you want to really concentrate on, whether at your desk or whether you're walking or wherever you're at, is making sure you have a nice upright posture. When you collapse and you fold in on yourself, you're compressing this area and you're compressing the diaphragm to where you cannot get a good breath, okay? So you want to make sure you're inhaling, and it helps to be kind of visual about it, and you're inhaling up, and you're going to chest to expand, right? We have a tendency to breathe very shallow, very up in the shoulders, so take a moment. Notice how you're breathing right now. Are you breathing and your shoulders are moving up and down? You're taking a very shallow breath. You want to come from the diaphragm. So inhale and feel your belly expand, feel your diaphragm expand. And you should feel your chest opening up. You're going to get that nice long inhale. It's helpful sometimes to imagine, if you have long hair like me, somebody grabbing you by the ponytail and holding you up, or imagine there is a string tied to the top of your head, and so that is pulling you up. Your chin's going to tuck back a little bit, because as we lean forward and we press out this way, which is very common for us to do when we work at a desk, you can even hear it in my voice. I can't get a very good breath in to be able to really even speak, right? So you want to pay very close attention. Make sure you're taking good, long, full breaths. You notice in the video I started to yawn a little bit. That was my body signaling to me that I wasn't getting enough oxygen. You're going to yawn because it's your body forcing you to take in more oxygen. So when you're meditating, when you're working, whatever it might be, and you feel like you start yawning, pay attention to how you're breathing. Drop your shoulders down. Take a few moments. And it's okay to physically sigh it out. It actually is very helpful, and it feels good sometimes. The other thing to pay attention to is your jaw. You'll find that you're clenching your jaw when you're working, when you're meditating, when you're just going about your day-to-day. We have a tendency to clench our jaws. That's going to inhibit our ability to get a full breath as well. You may also notice that your tongue is pressed to the roof of your mouth. I catch myself with that quite frequently, honestly. So when you're taking that time for yourself to breathe, take the time to pay attention to your body. Are you sitting real tight and your shoulders are gripped and your arms are gripped and your jaw's gripped, your tongue's pressed up against the roof of your mouth? Let it go. Release it out. It's okay if you slump a little bit to release and come back in. You're going to get a much fuller breath. And we're going to do a quick meditation exercise. I want to have a visual for you. And it's called box breathing. Box breathing is particularly good if you're having a rough day. And it will allow you to take a quick 5 minutes to release some of that stress. Find a position that is comfortable for you. Whether this is seated with your feet flat on the floor, lying down, lying against the wall, maybe seated on your meditation cushion with your hips raised. And take a few moments to just be. Notice your breath, but do not try to change it. Is your breath deep and full, or is it shallow? Do you feel your shoulders rising and dropping with each breath? Or do you feel your belly expanding? Notice your jaw. Do you have your teeth clenched together? If so, release them. Notice your tongue. Is it pressed tight up against the roof of your mouth? Release it. On your next breath, inhale deeply. Imagine your breath traveling all the way from the tips of your toes all the way up to the top of your head. And hold it. And then release it. And the breath travels from the tip of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet. And hold. And repeat. Inhale in. Hold. Release. And hold. Keep doing that on your own. Now I want you to visualize forming a box. You have that bright line that's going to travel up the front of your body, travel across the top of your head, travel down the back of your body, across the soles of your feet, forming the box of box breathing. Continue seeing this in your mind's eye. Noticing how you feel with each breath. Breathing in, holding, breathing out, and holding. Gently let your breath return to its natural state. Not changing it, not guiding it, just quietly breathing as normal. Notice how you feel now as compared to when you first started. Do you feel calmer? Do you feel more clear? Do you feel more energized? Take a moment to slowly wake back up. Maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes, your wrists and your ankles. Take a big stretch if that feels good for you. And if you've had your eyes closed, go ahead and flutter them back open and rejoin whatever task you were working on before in a much better place. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned things. Thank you for joining me. If you have liked the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Thank you. I appreciate you.